Hello and welcome to my channel To Plan For. Today I want to give you a little tour through my fountain pen selection. And I thought it would be nice to share the fountain pens I have and use on a regular basis, because I think there are many different approaches to this fountain pen topic, and I wanted to share mine because I think most people who share their fountain pens or the fountain pens they own is to show their collection. But I said at the beginning on purpose, selection and not collection, because I don't collect fountain pens. I buy fountain pens to use them. They're not a collecting item for me. They all have a purpose. And yeah, it's not my pleasure from fountain pens is using them and not to look at them or, I don't know, have a specific pen in all different colors. I mean, it's just a different approach to this whole topic, but for me, it's really the pleasure of using a fountain pen. Over the past 35 years, I would say 95% of all the things I've written by hand, I wrote with fountain pens. It has just always been my favorite writing instrument for various reasons, but mainly my handwriting looks really terrible if I use a ballpoint or gel pen. It looks the nicest with a fountain pen. And also, yeah, I think just that feeling how the nib glides over the paper, it's just pleasant, I guess. Yeah, but I guess you have to be a fountain pen lover to understand this pleasure. Okay, so enough of an introduction. I just want to show you now what I have. And actually, these here are all my fountain pens I own. And as you might see, that's compared to other people, not a whole lot. But I'm very happy with my selection. I don't plan to get new fountain pens anytime soon, but I definitely will get more. It's a hobby. But my hobby is using fountain pens and not collecting them. So this selection will definitely grow, but slowly, because if you got a really nice fountain pen and your pleasure is in using this fountain pen, there is no purpose in buying every month a new one, because I would be really sad if I have this wonderful fountain pen and all of a sudden I can't use it anymore because I have a new one. There's only so many pens I can use at the same time. Okay, my fountain pens have mainly two purposes. I use them obviously for writing, but I also use them for sketching. And those four pens I use for sketching. So I have this Platinum Preppy inked up with this Dia Tormentis document ink, sepia brown. Yeah, that's what I use for sketching. And that's certainly fountain pen friendly ink, but I like to have a cheap pen like that, where I can just put in any ink and I don't have to worry. And for sketching, I like to use waterproof ink, and some of them are a little bit difficult on a fountain pen. So yeah, that's perfect. It's also something you really don't have to worry about. You take it with you, and yeah, it's nothing precious you have to protect. It's really meant to be used. And I think, especially with this extra fine nib, it's perfect for me, at least for sketching, and it's wonderful for that. So that's the ink I have in this pen. Then I have this, and I never know how to pronounce this brand, Majon, I think. Well, it's of this brand A2 with an extra fine nib. I also use this one for sketching, and it's inked up with this, what's it, Rohrer and Klinger sketching ink, and it's this dark green called Lily. And yeah, it's all extra fine nib, as I said, and it's also really nice for sketching. Then I have my first Lamy Safari here, and this fountain pen is really old. I don't know how old exactly, but I could be 10, 15 years, I don't know. I really like this fountain pen. It's certainly nice to use, and one reason why I like the Lamy Safari is because it's really easy to change the nib. And you see here I have a couple of spare nibs in different sizes, and currently I have here an extra fine nib, and it's also inked up with the sketch ink Lily, because I use it for sketching. And even though they both have extra fine nib, this extra fine nib is way thinner than the Lamy Safari nib. So it's kind of, when I want to have bolder lines, I switch to the next fountain pen. I mean, I know you can use them, like, I don't know, the wrong way with the nib turned down, and then it's thinner, but still I get a lot of line variation by using different pens. So I have this one, the extra fine, then the Lamy Safari extra fine, which is way thicker than the other one, and then again I have this Lamy All-Star, and this one has a medium nib on it, and it's also inked up with this sketch ink Lily. And that's basically currently the ink I use mainly for sketching, and I just like to have those three fountain pens for really good line variations, from very thin to like bolder lines with the medium nib on it. So yeah, that's for me, that works out fine. Of course, you could have one pen with a flex nib, but yeah, for me, this way is good, and I just have them all in my urban sketching pouch, and yeah, so I'm set with those three pens. Okay, so those are my sketching pens, and then I have, oh, I make a mess, and then I have two pens I use for writing, and that's the Jinhao 10 with a fine nib, and it's inked up with this Bad Blue Heron. I don't know how to pronounce it. Well, this Noodler ink, and that has a special reason. At the beginning, when I got this pen, I was very unhappy with it because it constantly dried out the nib, and well, hard start, there was no starting anymore. But yeah, it was really the ink I had in there. Had at the beginning J. Urbain ink in there, and they're just very dry, and so that did not work at all with this pen. But now I have this Noodler's ink in there, and since then it doesn't make any more troubles. This fountain pen I use for work. It's always clipped to my bullet journal for work, and that's why I have here this capless, because it's just very practical for taking notes. I use my bullet journal constantly. I take notes at many meetings, or I don't know, get an email, write something down I have to do later on. So it's something I use many times a day, and then it's just easier with this capless. And well, I have it always inked up with the same ink. As I said at the beginning, I had some troubles with the ink, and now that I have found one that works, and yeah, I don't feel the need to change around there a lot. And those Noodler's ink bottles, they are really big. They only have ounce on there, and I never know what ounce are in milliliters, but yeah, I guess I will have this bottle a couple of years in my fountain pen for work, and yeah, it's just constantly refill it. And so usually one filling lasts about 2 weeks, and then I have to refill. But there's a little cartridge in there, but it's a smaller cartridge. I don't know how much, what's the capacity, but it's not really big. But yeah, it's perfectly now. And also, like, I have been on my summer vacation. Luckily, I didn't have to use my work stuff during my summer vacation, so I came back after 2 weeks vacation, and it immediately wrote again, so no issues there. And so this is the one pen I use for writing. And then I have this wonderful Pilot Custom 823 in the color Smoke. And that's my main writing pen. I currently have it actually inked up with the ink it came with. And this Pilot black ink. I think you only get it in combination with the pen. At least I read that somewhere. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, that's my main pen for writing. I use this for my personal journal and basically for everything I write, not for work. Yeah, I know there are a lot of people who have inked up many pens at the same time, and I don't know, I don't think that would really work for me. I like to have one writing pen, and usually when I fill this pen, it lasts me about a week. And yeah, so I mean, that is a fabulous pen if you are into this whole fountain pen topic. You know, that this is, well, many people say that's the best writing pen. Well, best, it's very difficult to say. I mean, that's certainly something very personal what you consider best, but it's definitely a wonderful pen for writing, and I don't have the need to get any other pen. I love this pen, and yeah, every single day when I open my journal or other things to where I need a pen to write with, I'm just happy to have this pen and use it, and it's just a wonderful pen. So yeah, and as I said, I have my pens to use them, to write with them. There is just for me currently no need to, or no wish to get any other pen, because then I would have to put this one down. And well, who wants to have a custom, Pilot Custom 823 and not use it? So definitely not me. So those are the pens I currently have inked up. Well, that's not quite true. Those two are also inked up. This one is the Kaweco Sport with a medium nib. And actually that pen is in my EDC, in my everyday carry pouch. It's small, it's not a very expensive pen. Therefore it's perfect to have it in this pouch. And it has just one of the cartridges. I think it's blue black, something like that. I have a pack of cartridges with different ink colors, and I'll just grab one of them. I think it's blue-black. So they're for my everyday carry. And then I have also this Kaweco Sport, and this actually comes from a calligraphy set. So here I do have a stop nib on there, and I have 2 other nibs to exchange. And yeah, I just like to use this sometimes for titles or headlines, something like that. So it's, well, some other people might just use, I don't know, a tumble marker for stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically what I use it for. Okay, so those are the pens I have inked up. Then I have here 3 more pens which are currently not in use. So here are 2 Esterbrook pens. That's the Coffee Monsters Co. pen from this year's release. I prefer to put shimmer inks in this kind of pens. It's just, I don't know. I mean, they are still not cheap, but compared to the Pilot Custom 823, they're still a lot cheaper, but still very nice pens. So, but currently they're not in use, and that by itself tells you I have too many fountain pens when you have fountain pens lying around which you don't use. And yeah, so definitely one more reason to not get more fountain pens. And then I have one more Lamy Safari. It's also currently not inked up, but maybe depends on if I need another nib size. I have here spare nibs in fine, well, medium and broad, and some maybe there's some reason for it. Additional sketching ink, or maybe I have some kind of really difficult ink where I'm not sure what it might do to the pen, and then I would go for Lamy Safari. I mean, Lamy Safaris, in my opinion, they're really amazing pens. You have to consider, I mean, I get, let me think, from, I know that the Lamy Safaris do have different prices in the US, but in Europe, for me, they're about 20 euros. So I guess I would get 15 Lamy Safari for one Pilot Custom 823, something like that, maybe even more. So yeah, therefore I think it's really nice to write with them. They're not expensive. They're extremely durable. As I said, I have this one for many, many years, and well, it looks like new. And as I said, I have my fountain pens to use them. I don't baby them. Well, I don't mistreat them on purpose, but I put them in my bag. They're not like constantly on a cushion and under a glass. So they're really in use, and I think it still looks like new. I don't see any signs of usage. Let's put them away. So that's the pen pouch I use every day. So in here I have obviously my Pilot Custom, then this Kaweco Sport if I need for some, as I said, headlines, titles. Then my sketching pens are in here, and I usually have them ordered by start from the smallest nib, or well, then the nibs are both extra fine, but still this extra fine is a lot finer. Have them in here, and then yeah, this also here. Okay, good. And then, as I said, I don't baby my fountain pens, so the other pens I don't use. I just have in this little bag here, and they will disappear again in my drawer. And this one will go back to the pen loop of my work bullet journal, and this goes into my everyday carry, and then every fountain pen has its place. Okay, I hope you like this little tour through my fountain pen selection. I wanted to share it because usually people with, I don't know, 20, 30, 100 fountain pens share their collection, but I know collecting is something completely different than buying fountain pens to use them, and you can only use so many at a time. So that's why I thought it would be maybe nice to see this fountain pen topic from a different perspective. Okay, then thank you very much. I hope you have a nice day and see you soon for my next video. Bye!